Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am lying on my bed with the quilt. I've just finished it and I was like, finally, I'm finished. It took me so long to quilt this. I haven't took so long to quilt a quilt in ages. All right, let me tell you how I actually made it. And yeah, welcome to my channel. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Karen, and today I'm having one of those fluster days where I'm celebrating that I've finished this quilt. So let's dive straight into this tutorial. How to make the ring toss quilt. I'm using a very beautiful floral print here. It looks very vintage to me, but it's called Daphne Floral Mix, and I think it looks really beautiful. I think it will play really nicely on the ring toss block. So I'm going to show you this quick block that I think you're going to love. All right, once you've cut your yardage into your nice wide strip, we're also going to be needing some background color. So we're going to cut these into squares and these into smaller squares. Next, once you've cut your squares, you now need to cut your background fabrics also into squares. For each block, you need 4 of each. All right, once you've done that, what we need to do is take these. Aren't these fabrics beautiful? My gosh, they are so amazing. Totally amazing, totally amazing. It's very early in the morning here, guys. As you know, I'm an early bird. I cannot stay in bed late. Somehow it just doesn't feel right to me to stay in bed late. So we're going to sew that like so together. All we need to do is to draw a line from there to there, from point to point on both sides on both of these blocks. Once we've done that, I'm going to show you how to create the block. All right, so taking a small ruler, I'm just going to leave it on there and use my heat erasable pen and draw that line that gives me the indication where I need to sew on. So we're going to sew on that particular line. You can literally sew just one grain. That's the best way to describe it. One grain just beyond that red line. Okay. What we're going to do is sew there, and then we're going to trim off this one. All right. So let me do this one. I'll give it a quick stitch and come back and show you where exactly we need to cut. So, all right, so now that all the blocks are sewn together, let's snip them apart. Remember, as I said, definitely if you're going to make this, I would say chain piece, so much more quicker. Why do I use words like that? Quicker. Oh, God. Grammar teacher would turn me off for speaking quicker. More quickly is the word, not quicker. Who says that? Anyway, as I tell myself off. So 1/4 inch cutaway. Make sure my blade is on. Now, if you wanted to, you can sew along there, which I think most of you most likely know, but this now becomes scrap. Or you can use it for something else. So we're going to do this for all of the blocks. Doesn't take long. Why am I using this big ruler? It's so clumsy. So much more quicker with smaller rod. Honestly, Karen, give yourself extra labor for no reason. Now, do you hear how I tell myself off, really? Can you imagine conversating? And yes, I think someone said to me I needed a pet. To be honest, we have been looking, but I haven't seen anything. Oh my God, dogs are so expensive. Oh my Lord, really expensive pets. But I don't want a big dog. I want a small little doggy that I can put in my handbag and not. No, I don't want that. But I do want a small little doggy, a nice fluffy little one. My husband wants a Kelpie, but yeah, I don't want a big dog. I don't want something that I have to spend a lot of time looking after. A little doggy is nice. Like the little fluffy ones. I can't remember their names at the moment. All right, so this is our block. So when we go to iron, we're going to put the floral print down and we're going to press back. So we want, because ideally you wouldn't want to see the seam allowance behind if you're pressing it towards the wide, but I think it's kind of pushing. Sometimes the seams tells you where it wants to go, but if you want, you can do as I'm doing here, literally turn it over and press it down. So I'm sure a hot iron will be able to do that. But if it doesn't bother you, then obviously, as you can see, look, already it wants to go towards the white. But if you've got a dark print you're using here, perfect. You don't have to worry about that. But I don't want to put too much pressure because I don't want to stretch the fabric. But that is your block. So I'm going to get the rest of them ready just like this, and then I'll come back and show you the layout. All right, so just iron. I'm not using a very hot iron here. I'm literally, as you can see, it's not red, it's on purple. The reason why I'm not using a hot, because these now can become very distorted very easily if you use a very hot iron. So don't be tempted to do that. At this stage, the block is very stretchy, it's on the bias, so just be careful. You don't want to, make it stretchy. So hence the reason why I'm just simply using a very warm iron. I've learned that a long time. If you use a hot iron on cut bias edges or where the fabric is just cut, it can definitely distort it. So just take your time with that. And so my son's coming to visit me. Well, tell a lie. Let's use the proper word. That young man is not coming to visit me. He's like, Mum, I'm coming over. Really? That's nice. Oh, nice to come and see you. Nice to see you. He's like, oh yeah, I'm coming to get my hair done. I was like, hold on a second. So you're not really coming. They do that to me, my son and my daughter. They don't come to see me, but they come so that Mum can do their hair. So it's like, oh, right. So you're not really coming to see me. Yeah, I am coming to see you, but I can get my hair done in the meantime. So I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen from now on. So whenever you're coming to see me, you're going to bring me a gift. He's like, really, Mom? Is that how we're doing it? I said, yes, that is exactly how we're doing it. All right, Mom, what do you want? Bring me a bottle of Baileys. Mom, are you serious? Boy, you better bring me a bottle of Baileys. Let me give you this joke. Christmas. Let me show you the block now. So it's a very large block once it's sewn together. So this is what you're going to get. Now, what I would say, you can use a background that has a very subtle print that's not fighting with this one. We don't want any clashes. So even if it's a plain background that I've used here with a subtle background print, even if it's white print in the background, or even a light pale, a light blue, any color that complements the tone of the main print here, you can use. All right. But I only had, that is what I really wanted. I really wanted a nice background with a subtle print, but I didn't have any. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go to the fabric store, nor am I going to stress Carl out and say, pick me up, Liz. All right, guys. So this is your ring toss block. What do you think? Let's move the camera so you can have a good look at it. Now tell me that's not a beautiful block. Ring toss. It does look like a ring toss, doesn't it? So pretty. Loving the fabrics. Really lovely. So, okay, guys, I think that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Look out for the ring toss quilt. I may consider just using this one in the quilt and also using other prints just so I demonstrate exactly what I was saying. Bye for now. Happy quilting. I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial and I will see you in the next one. Love you guys so much. Thanks. Bye. All right, so once you've made all the blocks, what I need you to do is to simply stack them all in the orientation that it's supposed to be in. So that way, once you pick it up, it's already set for sewing. So I'm going to stack all of these, and then I'm going to take the whole stack up and simply sit and sew, and I will chain piece so that way it goes together extremely quickly without any issues. So all of the blocks ideally should match up without any issues at all. Very beautiful big block you get with the outcome, which means your quilt is going to complete very quickly. So far so good. So nice positive vibes from this quilt. All right, so all that's done, and I will go now and start to sew. So to sew it together, you just simply need to front side together, okay, and sew. And then once you've done those two sides, then you would open it up and fold it like so. So you'll have your block formed together with these two here. All right, so let's get to sewing. Okay, so I've laid it all out. So this is what it will look like. However, in this area here where I'm looking at the moment, you can see where I've did just an example as a cornerstone. So if you wanted to do a long strip along there, this is what it's going to look like where the fabrics meet, and you'll have the smaller square in the middle. All right, so that's if you want to take a different look on it. It will give you a different pattern in the middle in comparison to all the triangles meeting in the corner there, but here you will get a very different outlook. It is up to you. You can use a different color of fabric that you want, so something that represented in the main floral fabric already, which I think will be nice actually. It will certainly give it a different look. Excuse me, as you can see, the floral is already prominent and has taken over, so you can see that ring toss, and it gives you that beautiful chain reaction going down. So I do feel that I will literally stay to the original pattern that I thought was in my head, and I will not add the cornerstone there. I will remove that, but this is just to give you another idea if you wanted to, one, enlarge the quilt, two, give it a different variety of look, three, add more colors into the quilt, as it is at the moment. It's literally floral and a background. All right, guys, so let's move on to the next stage. So what I'm going to do now is literally just sew the rows together, and then we will get into the quilting. But before we get into quilting, I want to give you some other ideas that I think I may have another concept for the quilt in reference to the borders. So let's get started on that one. All right, so this is it. So I did for the quilting, and probably this is why it took so long. On the whole quilt, I did swirls. And as you can see, the swirls are quite close to each other. So that could be one of the reasons why it took so long. So in the Daphne floral print, it's all swirls, and you may not be able to make it out. So I'll go in a little bit close so you can make that out. However, on the white diamond, I did lots of meandering feathers. I mean, it looks really lovely. I use a cream cotton quilting thread for this one. On the back, you're going to love the back. I use a white sort of silky, glossy thread for the white. But that's what it looks like in terms of the quilting. Now for the pattern, I don't know. I think the ring toss itself has actually been lost. Now, what I would say, remember, and I'm going to show you the block. This is the block here. This is the block, okay? Now, I could have just separated with a cornerstone, but then we would have lost the diamond in the middle. We wouldn't have lost it, but it would have been bigger with a square once the block came together. All right. And then, yes, you would have seen the ring toss individual. But what do you think, guys? Do you like it like this, or would you add a cornerstone? If I were to make this again, I would probably add the cornerstone just to see what it looks like. So that's the blocks there. Moving down, you can see how it forms a whole block. I don't know how to describe it. I'm lost for words with this one. Now on the border, I carried on with a white border, but with the leftovers, I used I used the half square triangles. Remember, we're gonna have the half square triangles once we do this particular cut here for that block. All right. Now, as I was saying, I used up some of those leftover half square triangles along the border, as you can see. Okay, and I did that on the lengthy sides of the quilt. So both ends of the quilt is what I did, the half square triangles. Now I wanted to carry on the pattern, and again, I've still used two tones in this particular pattern. There's no other colors other than what you see. And then at the top, I finished with the Daphne floral again. So that is what it looks like. So I'm going to come down on the side so that you can get a better idea. So on this side, you can see where the Daphne floral print is, followed by the white border, and then the flow of the quilt pattern. Okay, but on this side, you have the triangles. Now, I lost my points, and what I would do differently next time, so I'm telling you, so in case you decide to make the quilt, what I would do differently is to actually add on more fabric. So I will then add on another white fabric so I wouldn't lose my points with my binding. Because I added the binding, I lost my points. So that's a bit of a lesson for me. Okay, you can do it that way, but I think it looks better with the points. I wanted the points, but I didn't think far enough. It's only when I was literally trimming up did I notice. I was like, oh no, I should have added. So in hindsight, looking back now, I should have added another fabric, another white border to end that, even if it was a small 2-inch border, which again looks fine. I do like the concept of using a smaller thin border to finish off the quilt. That looks great. I've done that in the past. But as I said, moving forward, if I were to do the design again, I would definitely add on another fabric just to reduce the objective of losing my points. But other than that, it looks fine. It's a beautiful quilt. On the back, I use a flannel, I can never say this word, a flannelette. It's a tongue twister for me, but you know what I mean. But the reason why I chose this, because I felt it was so lovely and soft, and it will show up the quilting, and it will complement the tones of the front of the quilt. On the binding, I use a sort of a pale pink, reddish toned white with florals on it. That's what I use for the binding. But I love the backing. That sort of baby blankety texture for the quilt is lovely. I certainly love that. Love. And I love how you can use it on both sides if you wanted to. You know, it looks really lovely that way. Let me just get it back a little bit. You'll see what it looks like properly. You know, so that is it there. Okay, looks really lovely. Absolutely love how it looks, because you can actually see all the quilting on it. you know, I love the fabric. It's also it's a patchwork, as you can see. You know, you've got some 4 squares there together, a little patchwork, which if you look in turn, you can see a bigger patchwork here. All right, so that's one of the reasons why I picked it up, but I also was mainly because of the feel of the fabric, that soft flannelette. Oh, did I say it right? Yay! You know, so that was that. But yeah, I certainly love the bag. Let me know down below what you think of the front of the ring toss quilt. It looks lovely on the bed. It certainly fits the bed really nicely. It's got a good drop over on the other side. You can see my husband's quilt at the bottom there, which is bigger than it. Slightly bigger. I'll probably say about, yeah, there's a slightly bigger. You can see here. All right. But it looks fine. It looks fine. For me, the quilting was the bit of the hard one on this. But again, I'm still baffled by the outcome, how all of the ring tosses joined together. It looks really nice. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. But yeah, I'm not in love with it. Let me know what you think, guys. But again, saying that it's a beautiful quilt, I'm so sure it will make somebody happy. Definitely. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. The pattern will be there for you if you want to have a go at making it. And again, you know, if you are going to do it exactly the way I have done, definitely consider adding on another 2-inch strip on this side. I definitely think, just so that you don't lose your points there. But beautiful, lovely, warm. I think I will definitely try this particular fabric again, hopefully in another color. I'm not sure if they had another color, but definitely I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Beautiful and soft. All right, guys, so bye for now. Happy quilting. And I would like to give a shout out to all of my members. I'll put your name on the screen. Thank you so much for supporting Crafty Quilting Designs. And if you'd like to become a channel member, all you need to do is click join below. And I would be happy to have you on board as a channel member. So enjoy the quilt and look forward to hearing your feedback. And I shall speak to you in the next one. Love you guys. Thank you for all your support, as I usually say, as it's highly valued. And I can't wait to hear what you say about this one. All right, guys. Bye.